Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third Mysteries of Ravensburg Academy. We do have a returning member from the first episode, but we also have some new friends with us that you'll get to meet once we actually start our little mystery. So, of course, as always, we begin at Ravensburg Academy for Monstrous Folk, the ever cloudy, ever gloomy castle looming over the student villages, the quaint little Victorian row houses that all the students live in. It is in the middle of summer break, but surprisingly, the campus is full as this is the time for summer sports and sports tryouts, a good week-long bout of tryouts and practices and other such things that a variety of students get to go to. Athletes, artists who want to study the monstrous form, journalists who want to get an early scoop on great athletes about to do great things, and maybe a few other people. But we begin actually on the second day of practice. Most of you all have kind of gotten into the swing of things. Um, Jaithryn and Maximoff, if you would like to quickly describe yourselves. It's probably about 8 in the morning. You all are kind of gathered in a sort of part of one of the fields, and you're going to go on your first sort of long distance run as everyone's kind of doing their stretches. If you would like to describe yourself and give a little bit of information about your character. So which one of you would like to go first?
You could go first.
Okay, we're like 14 and change, is that right? Or so?
Age-wise, you're probably like somewhere between 19, 20. You all are in
Oh,
college. So
oh, much better. Okay, yeah. But I don't know. I was taking in my mind cues from Astarion overall, so picture him as a 20-something twerpier version.
all right. And so Maximov, please describe yourself and maybe a little bit about your character.
Yes. So mine is a little bit of a bookworm. Mine's an Owlin. And he's a rogue. He's very quiet. But when he speaks, he's very like to the point. He doesn't beat around the bush. Very ninja like. So he'll be very like out of nowhere. He'll like pop up out of everybody's like group in and out. He loves reading. He's always in the library in the academy. But for the most part, he's very loyal. Once he like opens up to someone, he'll be like ride or die. So that's kind of like the main idea of this guy.
All right. So in the sort of other places in the group, there are some recognizable sort of characters. Um, there is a hobgoblin. His name is Osmond. He is the most, at least last year, he quickly became the most popular guy on the freshman track team and continues as you all are rising sophomores. He has his two best friends with him. One of them is a Kenku. His name is, everyone calls him Zapper. His name is actually like the sound that a sort of Tesla coil makes when the lightning goes between it, because that's just how Kenkus name themselves. But everyone just calls him Zapper just because it's easier than trying to make the weird little onomatopoeia sounds. And his other best friend is a zombie named Dale. They're also long distance runners, as well as Herb Thicket. He's another particularly notable character because his twin sister, Garden Thicket, is a cheerleader, a very popular cheerleader. She and Osmond used to date, but they broke up about 6 months ago. And it was not a clean breakup. It was a very nasty breakup. Um, he kind of they're kind of polar opposites. He's also a mathlete, long distance runner, chess player. He kind of gives off a lot of Milo Thatch energy. He's also a hexblood, so he has sort of green skin. He kind of has a few twigs growing out of his hair. He does have a middle part as best as you can with some twigs poking out of your skull. He's usually wearing sweater vests or suspenders or things like that. His twin sister gives off like Regina George energy. She is the queen bitch. She is the popular cheerleader. She is drop dead gorgeous. And actually, you all see her and a few other cheerleaders as the cheer coach, a mummy named Bahiti, is kind of just trying to get people into the cheerleading mood by having them kind of give you all a little cheer before you start running as you're kind of stretching. Um, and that means that Sasha, being assigned to be the assistant for the cheerleading coach, you are kind of standing off to the side a little bit, possibly with a clipboard and maybe with Bahiti's coffee, as she's kind of directing a cheer as the cheerleaders give you all a little cheer. Of course, if you've watched this, you already know Sasha a little bit. But Sasha, if you would like to reintroduce yourself as you're kind of standing off to the side with the clipboard and the coffee. Um,
Yes. So, sorry, it has been a while since I have played this character.
oh yeah,
And at the point of description. Um, Here we are. So Sasha is a Dhampir. He is of officially his age is 74, but he looks 24. Um, he has gold blonde hair, red eyes, naturally. Um, Pretty fit build, um, pale complexion, and he is currently sipping his own coffee while writing things on his clipboard to run by with Mahiti, but
Bahiti. Yeah, I know it's a bit of an odd name, but she's a mummy. Mummies are relatively new to the valley. They kind of just started popping up recently, as opposed to the older monsters.
right. So he's currently like sitting down, um, with one leg crossed over the other, just being his sassy vampire self.
Of course. So I would say at this point, after the cheerleaders kind of give a little cheer and they trot off to kind of do some more stretches, the track coach comes in. Um, his name is Coach Stubby. He is basically a haunted ventriloquist doll, um, which is kind of weird because he's only about 2 feet tall, but he has a very big personality. Uh, and he kind of comes in and blows the whistle. All right. So you know what you're doing. You're going to be running around the baseball fields towards the horse stables and then back. You're going to do that twice, and then we'll head off for lunch. Ready? And he picks up his whistle, and surprisingly for a puppet that doesn't really need to breathe, he blows the whistle and it is loud. And you all begin to trot off. So while you all are running, I'm going to need the two of you, Maximoff and Jaithryn, to make me a perception check. First roll of the game.
3.
Oof.
Yeah.
Don't have anything additional for perception?
Actually, +5, so 8.
Okay.
19.
That's better.
Yeah. Okay. So as you are running along the track and you're nearing the stables, you notice laying kind of on the side of the sort of pathway is a stick. where the top part is sharpened.
Oh,
And you being a Dhampir, you can see and smell it has blood on it. And it's just laying there on the side of the path as you kind of run along. Um, it also kind of looks like with a 19, it looks like it was placed upwards in the ground, but has since been kind of knocked over. The bottom is covered in dirt and it's a bit torn up around the spot where it was.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but it does smell delicious. I guess I'm going to go investigate, which is also a thing. One sec.
Yeah. Yep, you can certainly roll me an investigation check.
7. Womp womp.
Oof. You pick it up and the blood doesn't it at first it smelled good, but then after you're like inhaling it for a little bit, getting close, it doesn't actually smell that great after all. It smells like old corpse. Like the corpse has been dead for a long enough for the blood to possibly coagulate a little bit. It just doesn't smell good at all. But you kind of throw the stick down and try and figure out what to do from there, as this is quite a weird thing to have on the side of the road. This isn't quite normal, even though this is an academy of monsters.
So, Sasha, you want to come check this out? I presume we're within calling distance, hailing distance?
Um, you might
Or
have to walk a little bit to like shout across
catch
the
up?
field, but I would say you probably could.
um, Sasha is going to use his walking speed to, or running speed, I guess, um, to get there pretty normal, quicker than the average bear. Um, and he doesn't even pause. He just grabs it from Jaithryn's hand and starts inspecting it. And he's like, "Well, this is a nifty little thing to find here." And um, he also does a sniff investigation check.
All right, roll me that investigation.
Just watch me get a 1. Oh, hello. 15.
15. Giving it some additional sniffs and that it is
Licks.
definitely old blood. It tastes bad, it smells bad. It also sort of smells and tastes a little bit vampiric. Like this was vampire blood that's all over this sharpened stick.
Uh, a vampire blood on a wooden stick. How passe. Uh, who would I be like above board? Who would I want go to about this? Because I feel like there would be the appropriate authorities to bring this situation up to.
Or Stubby?
Well, you can probably go to Stubby. There is also, of course, over top of the whole thing, he's kind of the chair of the athletics department, as well as being one of the many professors who teaches a variety of classes within the physical education degree track. Is Boris Volkov. You did meet him. He was the one that met you outside of the library in your first adventure. He's a big old, incredibly muscular werewolf who kind of runs the
Um,
whole
yes,
shebang.
it's coming back. Um, so Philanthropos just starts walking off to
Wrong
sorry,
character.
Sasha.
We're switching gears. It's fine.
Sasha starts walking off to grab Stubby and Basha or
Boris.
The mummy.
Oh, Bahiti.
Bahiti.
Bahithi, and over his shoulder, he calls out to Jaithryn, "Come along now."
I suppose.
All right, so we're gonna switch a bit over to Maximoff as you are kind of focused on running. Um, you actually see running in the opposite direction. Like long distance runners tend to not, they don't sprint. They have to keep up the same pace for a long time. So they're kind of a little bit closer to a walking speed. But running in the opposite direction down the trail at full speed, full tilt, is Osmond, Zapper, and Dale. Osmond is ahead of the group by a good 10 feet, speeding down the track, and you just hear him as he passes you, just shit, 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 as he keeps just running. The other two are silent, but they're also running full tilt down the trail, and they pass you as you continue sort of jogging on. And I guess as you just continue on, and nothing strange sort of happens, but switching back as the two of you, Sasha and Jaithryn, go up to the coaches, you do see Stubby standing next to the trail, kind of watching for runners to come back round. And of course, Bahiti is in the middle of kind of coordinating some sort of like aerial toss between a few cheerleaders as they all watch. And you all approach with this blood-covered stick.
Excuse me, coaches. I have something that you might want to look at.
I just happen to be nearby.
Yes, our dear student over here. Am I also a student in this situation, or
Yes, you are. Well,
right. Okay.
You're a student assistant since you're not in classes, but it's the summer. But yeah, you are a student.
My Mr. Jaithryn over here was kind enough to find this for us. He holds up the blood-covered stake.
Well, oh, and this is Bahiti as she kind of gestures for people to keep going and keep trying the trick as she kind of comes over. Do we know if anyone's hurt? There wasn't anyone in. I mean, we have plenty of medical tents around. Perhaps it was just pulled out of someone.
I don't accept responsibility on the best of days, and I'm certainly not doing it for this. But is anyone missing?
Not that I'm aware of, at least not for my team. And you see Stubby kind of looking at the clipboard. Nope, looks like everyone's here for long distance.
Also, the blood is old, and I'm pretty sure we would notice a body.
Oh. That's concerning. I frankly have no idea what to make of this. If it's old, then I mean, it could be one of our zombie players, or I honestly don't know.
It's vampire.
Oh,
Vampire blood.
well, that's concerning.
And as I'm sure you all know, vampires and steaks do not mix well.
Yeah, not great. If we have a dead body on our hands, especially a dead vampire body, we definitely need to get it out of wherever it is. It's sturge season. And you all would know in the valley, particularly in places like the Fetid Swamp and other places like that, summer is sturge season. Sturges are these horrible, about hand-sized insects that kind of are like bat-like creatures that land on you and drink your blood with these huge proboscises. one of those getting a hold of vampire blood, weird things happen to them. Um, so I'm gonna get Boris. And she turns and walks back to the group and she kind of snaps her fingers. Just Garden,
Maybe
Garden,
he
as she
can
tries
sniff
to get
things up.
Garden's attention. I'm going to say that probably enough time has passed. Maximov, you are running back around the other side of the bend, and you see Jaithryn and Sasha just kind of standing off to the side as you see Stubby, your coach, and Bahiti very heatedly debating as they are walking away from the group, which is kind of a bit of a weird sight to see. Coaches just leaving their teams and not like micromanaging them. And that's what you see as you're kind of jogging around the bend and getting closer.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Well, it seems we have a dead vampire, and Sasha did it.
Sasha did it.
What do you mean? Like, how do you know?
Well, they had the weapon last, so I'm just tracing a possession or something like that.
Oh, is that what that smell is coming from?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh,
Is Jaithryn just like blaming Sasha?
Anyone in
it's
sight?
like
Yes.
absolving of anything.
Sorry?
It's
Anyone
like
in sight?
absolving,
Yeah.
like he didn't do.
Oh, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, uh-oh.
No,
Which one?
It's not
that James doesn't have this audio. I just can't really hear him talking.
Oh.
Um, I can try to speak slower. Um, but I'm just fucking with you. He's a compulsive liar. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's
So Blanchos turns around and
Sasha.
uh Sasha turns around and he's like, continue spreading those lies and I'll tear your lying tongue out and shove it up your ass.
well, I didn't know we were at that stage just yet, but we'll see.
So whose blood do we think it is? That was anybody like not running?
Well, it seems that all the students are here. I'm kind of concerned it might be a faculty.
Could it be? Yeah, maybe like one of the staff members.
Yes, as of right now, Sir Mr. Boris is going to come over and assist, which I am greatly looking forward to.
At this point, crashing out of the underbrush is what appears to be a runner. Um, Given that you all are kind of given uniforms for track that have very short shorts. But that's about all that you can see. But on top of him or her, whoever this person is a sort of mound of flesh that has been wrapped around their body as they're charging out. It's just the legs. Their arms are trapped inside this mound of flesh. Just comes charging out of the underbrush straight towards everyone. And that's when the cheerleaders see it and they all scream and scatter as this thing comes charging in. And as it gets probably within about 50 feet of you all, it collapses before something that the mound of flesh unravels itself, pulling itself up. It is literally just a human skin rug that is kind of holding itself up through some sort of weird necromantic magic. And laying on the ground is another runner from track, although you can't quite recognize them. They're kind of face down. and it instantly sort of dives towards you. And I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative as we go into our first combat encounter of this mystery.
That's a 9.
Only a 9 for Sasha?
I got 14.
All right. 14 from Maximoff.
16.
Oh, I do add my initiative thing, right?
Yes.
So I got 24.
Oh, 24. 24 for
Hooray.
Maximov. And then real quick for the weird... Ooh, this thing did not roll well. All right, so we start off with Maximov. What you doing?
I take out my little kunai blade. It's a fan, but we're gonna use it as a blade today. And I go in for like a grace, kind of like a grace cut. Nothing too dangerous, just to like feel what this guy is working with.
All right. So roll me that attack roll.
By the way, what level are we at?
6.
Oh, hello.
Yes. All right. It's a D20, right, for attack roll?
Yes. Yep.
Oh no. I got a 2.
Uh-oh. Well, it depends on what
What
you
else is
add
good?
to it. It should say in the little weapon thing how much you add to your attack roll.
Give me 1 second. +8, so 10.
Unfortunately, that is not going to be enough as you whip your knife around. The strange thing you notice as it kind of hauls itself back a little bit and your knife kind of goes towards it, it doesn't cut the flesh. It goes into a hole as this thing, at least a good part of it, is Swiss cheesed with varying sized holes, which is a bit bizarre as your knife kind of goes into one and then you pull back. Do you have an extra attack at this level? Do rogues get an extra attack at level 6? I can't quite remember.
I don't think I
Think so.
do. I do have no.
It would be under the class features under extra attack.
I don't.
Oh, you don't. All right.
Not at
So
this level.
I guess that is the end of your turn. And we move on to Jaithryn as you watch your Owlin friend kind of try and stab this horrible creature and miss because of the weird Swiss cheese patterning.
Now, what is our weapon situation while running? Because there's no way I'm putting a strange mound of flesh in my mouth without knowing more information.
I'll say you probably have your... Actually, since you all kind of came back to the place where you all started your run, I'm going to say that your like bags and stuff are probably just like around close enough for you to probably just quickly grab your weapon just because you're probably near enough to your bag. So I'm going to say you do have your weapon on you if you have such a weapon.
All right.
But I know you're also a spellcaster, so
Sure. How do I spellcast on a lump of flesh? I'm gonna go for just trying to stab it with the rapier.
all right.
Oh no, wait, that was a damage roll. It's more with feeling. 24.
That'll hit.
Okay, cool. Then that does 9 piercing damage.
All right.
And I do have an extra attack as a swords bard, so I'll do a little pirouette and slash again. 25.
That'll hit.
And 9 piercing damage.
Another 9. Awesome. Yeah, those rapier slashes cut off these huge parts of this horrible creature as it continues kind of flapping around. And is there anything else you would like to do with your turn?
Uh, that is all. Thank you.
All right. Sasha, what you doing to this thing?
I am going to cast Lightning Bolt.
Oh, all right. So I think that is a saving throw on its part.
It is a Dexterity 14 saving.
All right. It got a 2, so that's a whopping 4.
Alrighty. That is going to be 26 damage.
Sweet.
Oh, you fry this thing as you send a lightning bolt straight through it, causing everybody to jump as this thunderous crack echoes across the playfields. And this thing collapses to the ground, sizzling and smoking. And at this point, you hear people running towards you as you see Bahiti and Boris sort of charging full tilt, and Stubby about 20 feet back, running as fast as he can, as his little legs can carry him, as he charges onto the scene. And of course, Bahiti instantly runs towards the student and kind of rolls him over. At this point, the two of you, Maximoff and Jaithryn, would probably recognize this person. He is another runner on the team. His name is Hector, and he is a Dhampir as well. He's starting to be covered in bruises. Bahiti kind of looks up and he's still alive. But it's very clear that like there might be a few broken bones. Um, it's also at this point you see charging across the fields from another direction is a very familiar professor. Everyone loves taking her class. It's Corinna Sawtooth. She's a potion maker, and she has like this bandolier of healing potions, and she's kind of charging. She's a hex blood, loves making explosions, but is really good at making potions. And so Boris just kind of looks around. What is going on? What has happened?
I have no idea, but it seems that this thing, he shoves the charred carcass of the skin thing, was essentially hitching a free ride on that student over there.
Oh, it is disgusting. And kind of holds it up. And you watch as Corinna kind of looks up and goes, "Oh no." And she kind of pulls the skin. Is it a vampire body?
Uh, I would I be able to tell this?
Um, give me a quick perception check. Anyone else can give this perception check as well.
Estupendo. Where are you? Oh, there you
12.
are. 12.
23.
So I would say, yeah, I would say you, Maximov, as they're kind of turning the corpse over and over, the head kind of flops over, and somehow still in the mouth are two fangs that just catch the light for a moment as the head kind of rolls over empty. This is in fact a vampire body.
All right. Well, we found our one of the first clues, guys.
It would seem that we found the stab victim. I'm guessing Blanche is still holding the stake. Sasha! It's gonna be a while.
Yeah. And at this, Bahiti just goes, "So this is the person who was on the stake. Then we may have a problem." Corinna, aye, seems we probably have some Strigoi on our hands now. If you'd like to make a nature check, you certainly can after that statement. Lots of rolls.
Five.
Well, it would kind of make sense with your backstory why you wouldn't know about this.
14.
14.
What kind of check is it?
Nature.
I have 8.
So, Sasha, it would make sense that you would know. Strigoi are what happen when sturges drink a vast amount of vampire blood over a short amount of time. They turn into human-sized creatures. They take on vampiric qualities. They have the ability to speak. They form very human-like personalities. They are considered disgusting and subhuman amongst the Nocturne Federation. But sometimes they are specifically created to be servants amongst the sort of wealthier households. But it's as if these are basically turned into vampires themselves. And it would make sense of why the holes are varying sizes on this skin, because they were drinking a vast amount of blood and growing, and as they were growing, their proboscises were getting larger as they continued stabbing into the body. They were probably transforming as they were drinking this entire thing dry.
So the sturge turns into the Strigoi.
Yes.
Okay.
Belantros gives off an air of like a face of disgust, and he's like, "Ugh, I hate Strigoi. They're so disgusting." Never had one myself.
That sounds like a full transformation, honestly.
So I essentially convey all the information that you gave me, all the group, because I'm not able to remember all that. There's a reason I hate summer.
Yeah. Yeah, sturge season is literally like mosquito season in the South. Like they're everywhere.
Yeah. But I was also talking in the sense that my brain is sort of like an overheated computer that just stops working.
Yeah.
So we should probably look for someone who is cultivating sturges, I guess. It would seem that this was artificially created.
They wouldn't be using stakes, certainly. That's what they have proboscises for.
Yes. So essentially, someone went stab with a vampire and then used the vampire to feed the sturge to create a Strigoi.
At this point, you see some of the cheerleaders begin to like tentatively return, as well as Osmond, Zapper, and Dale all come charging up. And as they see, they kind of do a very bad job of hiding their emotions. They run up and they almost skid to a stop as they see all the professors around the sort of skin that they're all holding, and they all instantly make a 180 and begin just casually walking off in another direction. It is very obvious. They do nothing to hide this.
Belantros would Sasha be able to catch this behavior?
I would say yes. The professors are a little bit distracted by this thing as they're starting to formulate some sort of plan on who they need to tell about this. But yeah, I'd say the three of you can probably catch it.
Okay, Sasha looks to the two of them, and he is not caring about this BS. He just straight up says, "You two, turn around, come back."
you watch as the three of them kind of pause,
Oh, three. Sorry.
and I'm gonna say Osmond kind of turns around and just, what?
Interesting reaction that you had when you saw this.
I mean, everything's under control. I thought we'd help, but everything's under control. Everything's fine.
Perception check.
You mean insight check?
Whatever.
Yep, insight check.
Insight check. 18.
Yeah, Osmond is lying, obviously. He's not doing a very good job of it. There is definitely something else that's going on. He wasn't running back to help.
Belantrios, being his manic self, was like, BS. Now tell me the truth, or I will literally turn your pants on fire. And he creates a fireball in his hand.
That escalated.
I'd do it if I were you. He lit that thing up, so
We don't really have anything to do with this.
Belantrios just casually inches his hand closer.
Look, I don't know what you want us to say. We didn't have anything to do with this. We just wanted to see if we could assist. And it looks like everything was under control.
Okay, if you insist. And he throws the fireball like next to him within a safe radius.
Wait, are you actually casting the spell Fireball?
No,
Fireball.
it's just like a
minor illusion.
yeah, a controlled flame.
All right, so yeah, you kind of toss this flame into the grass, and they all hop away. Really?
Last chance. Last chance. And I would love it if they were able to like see the just absolute shit crazy in his eyes. Like he would very much love to set someone else on fire or lightning or whatever.
I'm gonna say at this point you've thrown, there's an altercation going on. And Bahiti ends up walking over and just, what's happening? What's happening right here?
again, not responsible.
Thank you, Joe. I have, well, how would I like to say this? These three came around, saw this thing over there, and had a very visceral reaction to it. And I can tell with absolute certainty that they're lying about having nothing to do with this. So I'm just trying to surmise the truth.
Well, we don't need to be chucking fireballs at people. Look, if you three are witnesses, you are going to have to stay here. So you're going to go and sit on those bleachers over there, and you'll have a talk with Boris. And you, Sasha, how about you just go home for the day? I don't need you chucking fireballs at the other athletes. All right?
But it's so much fun.
Even if it is, it's not professional. And she turns and walks away, very clearly making a point to speak with Boris and point to the three boys before kind of going and checking on the cheerleaders.
Well, I was hoping to get to stay around Mr. Tall, Dark, and Barking over there, but I guess we could do our own little investigation. What do you gentlemen think?
Sure, I suppose so. It might get more of his attention if we figured something out.
Well, you definitely piqued my curiosity, so I'll hop along.
Excellent. And his smile is all teeth, and fang.
Of course. So, how well are you going to proceed with your little investigation?
Mm,
Well, I'm assuming I still have the stake.
Yes, you do.
Um, so would I be able to use my sense of smell for blood to track a trail of blood, even if it's old?
Um, Relatively, yeah. There would be a certain point in which you would probably stop. But you might be able to get at least somewhat of a sense of maybe where something is moving.
Yeah. Um, Delantius goes over to Jaithryn, and he's like, "Get in on this. We need all the help we can get."
I mean, I'm not a bloodhound, but I'll do my best.
Fetch.
Mm,
I do have flight. Would it help if I like take a little owl's view of the surrounding area?
Sure, but please try to be inconspicuous.
Yeah, I'll do like, hopping around. Okay, so I like take flight, take a really hard leap upwards. And can I do a perception check?
Yes, you certainly
Okay.
can.
Cool. I got 20.
20.
Yeah.
All right. So as you're kind of up scanning the area, particularly the track, you see there's definitely baseball practice going on. You can see all the athletes kind of milling around there. You see a lot of the cheerleaders kind of in the area where the track is. You can still see people running along the track as athletes are starting to come in to whatever the heck just happened, and see all that. But you also manage to catch there are two what appear to be cheerleaders that are kind of still in a wooded area that was close by to the area where you all were standing, and they appear to be looking for something. They're like on their hands and knees kind of picking up sticks and twigs and things like that.
Well, that looks slightly suspicious.
Are you gonna come back and tell us?
Yes. So I get back down. Like, all right, guys. I think I caught a little bit of something. Might be something, might not, but just in case. There's a few cheerleaders that way. That's I think a little suspicious. Should we go talk to them?
Yes, as the assistant coach to the cheerleaders, it is my duty to look out. And I guess we all trot over to the area they are in.
Try to coyly make our way there.
Yes.
Yep.
Sneaky sneak. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So you do see the two cheerleaders. One of them is Garden. The other is a another Dhampir. Her name is Valentina. She is kind of known for being a bit of a flirt, um, which of course sometimes bites her in the butt because she did try and flirt with Herb. However, that got shut down real quick, by both Garden and Herb, um, as Herb is openly gay. Um, Valentina is straight. And they're both kind of just looking through the sort of grass. And as you get closer, you do hear Garden just go, I swear, Valentina, I stopped using a diary when I was 13. Maybe you should just stop. She's like, no, I write important notes in it too. And they're still like just picking up twigs and just looking in this general wooded area.
Blantrios tilts his head and he's like, "Hi, girls."
You see Valentina jump, and Garden just stands up. All right, what is it now?
What you doing?
We're looking for Valentina's stupid diary. She dropped it when she was running.
Oh, really? Do you always run with your diary?
Well, I was on the sidelines. I wasn't part of the flying thing that was happening at the moment, and it was in my hands, and I'm not going to drop it when I took off running. Well, I did drop it, but I wasn't going to gently lay it down and then run off. It was in my hands.
Um, Sasha getting better at it? Can Sasha do a investigation check to see if he can see the diary?
Yeah, you all certainly can do if anyone else wants to
Sure.
do
We'll kiss
investigation as
around.
well.
Yeah. Oh,
Another 11.
Oof.
Let me check mine. 18.
18. And what did Jaithryn get?
4.
4. Oh, okay. So Maximoff, as they're all kind of looking around in the area, you do see a little ways off is a little tiny pink book that is kind of face down but open, as if it was dropped and just landed open in the dirt underneath a bunch of these twigs. It'll be really easy to just reach in and grab it.
Okay. Yeah, I head over, grab it. It was like, oh, this it?
Casually going to the initiative roll.
Valentina, of course, charges towards you and snatches the diary out of your hand and just, yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, we found it. I'll see you all later.
Yes,
And
get back to the rest of the group, please.
Yeah. And then you just see Guard just, finally. As Valentina kind of bubbly almost skips back to the group, and Garden is just following her. With that investigation check, I'm going to say that you notice that there is a piece of paper that is on the ground, kind of near as you were pulling the book out. One of the pages must have fallen out.
Okay. Do I need to roll again or?
No, you just pick it up.
Okay. All right, cool. We found a note. I bring it over to the rest of the guys and we're like, hey guys, like we kind of got something that fell off the diary. I feel kind of wrong reading it, but for investigative purposes.
I'll read it if you don't want to.
Reading a girl's diary page, how lecherous.
I mean, I'm simply in the pursuit of free information.
Mm-hmm. Blantrios grabbed the page, like, quickly.
All right. So on this page, as you kind of look down, it is apparently a page that she was using for just doodling. There's a lot of like the page also itself almost has a little like pink hue to it. It's a lined notebook. And And there's various like cheerleading formations sort of in there, notes about that, but also on the margins of these pages are names in hearts. Almost every single one of them in the first 2/3 of the page are all Valentina and some other boy's name, with just like little hearts and things
Various
around
boys?
them.
Is this
Just various boys. They're only the first names, but you do not recognize any of the names that she has kind of paired herself with until you get to the bottom of the page, where the hearts kind of go across the whole thing, and the ink looks a little bit fresher at the bottom, like she was probably doing it right before she ran, as there's a little bit of smudging. All of them are different than the ones up above because both of them have the name Osmond and Herb written in them. Osmond plus Herb in hearts.
Oh, wow.
You also notice that it looks like there's a little bit of the next page that was in the diary, kind of still attached to it. But it looks like this page fell out because the other page, the page opposite of it, was ripped out. Because there's still like the sort of seam where the book was sort of bound in the middle of it with little edges of the opposite page on it. And that's what you have on this little notebook page.
Um, so Herb is the brother of what's her name?
Garden.
Garden. And who is oh wait, Valentina, that's her, right?
Yeah, Valentina is the girl whose diary this is, but the Herb's name is in the hearts with the name Osmond,
The
who
Star
is
Trek.
Garden's ex.
Oh, so that do we know if that's the guy that was,
stabbed?
yes.
No, Osmond is the hobgoblin that you just got in trouble, essentially.
Sorry, brain.
And Herb was with Valentina making these hearts.
No, Herb is one of the runners. You would probably know him. He's relatively well, seeing as how both he and his twin sister fight like cats and dogs just all the time. They hate each other. But Valentina did at one point flirt with Herb, only for Herb to shut that down because he's gay, and Garden shut that down because she doesn't want her best friend dating her sibling, because that might get a little awkward. So
Okay,
yeah, that was a moment. Huh?
what relevance does this have to the investigation?
I mean, you don't know, but it's
A
something.
red herring.
Are they in the field running as well?
At this point, Herb would have probably come back, but Osmond is definitely sitting on the bleachers. You would probably see Osmond, Zapper, and Dale sitting on the bleachers as Boris is kind of looming over them and very clearly talking very sternly to them. But they're a bit out of earshot for you to hear what's exactly happening.
I'm not sure where to go from here.
I batted a 0 on trying to track blood smells, so we could interrogate the 3 boys some more without fire.
Could I try the investigation check for blood?
It is a bit far away from where the stake was found, but if you want to, you can.
Yeah.
Let's go sniff around where we found the stake.
15.
There is not any blood here.
Hmm.
Okay.
So they were
Um,
stabbed in a separate location and it was dumped here.
Well, I thought I'd be able to catch like a scent on the air or whatever. Anyway, let's go back. This is just a waste of time.
All right. So you head on over to the place where the stake was. There is still that sort of mound of earth that was very clearly uprooted. It's very clear that this was placed into the ground. It wasn't just like a sharpened tree that they just chucked the body on. It was placed there intentionally, very close to the path.
Why would someone do this? Why would someone put the stake in the ground like this?
We're talking like a shove someone so they fall or an impaled sort of deal. Am I picturing this correctly?
I think there would be a better way of killing
Right?
Um, I'm not sure how to explain and how much would be revealed. It looks like whether or not the body was on it, it was placed here intentionally. It wasn't just like a convenient location to push someone off the road into like a trap or something. It was placed here very clearly. The area is a very visible area.
Do we
Um,
dig, do you think?
Not like a ritual, is it?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like a ritual would be necessary for feeding a vampire to a sturge.
I don't know. Do they have like a rite of passage where like they do it in front of everybody and then like they'll watch?
Would I be able to know this considering my knowledge on sturges?
and especially since you roll, no, it's not like a huge thing. The vampires that do make strigoi for servants usually have them caught, shipped in, and feed them on their own blood, just like repeatedly, forcing them to feed on them, so they don't ever like die doing this. And they don't use
They're conscious
corpses.
while they're getting eaten alive.
Well, they don't
Are,
let themselves get fully eaten alive. They're just feeding it blood. They
Fair.
give it a certain amount of blood per day, but they don't let it kill them. So it's more of just the vampire might have a little bit more control over it because it was created by its blood. But in this case, it seems to be a dead body that these things fed off of.
Got it.
I would like to investigate around for any further clues, like, I don't know, further blood splashes, broken branches, footprints, anything like that. I rolled a 19.
19. All right. As you're kind of searching around, you do see there are kind of footprints in the mud, but you do find also a kind of it's gotten a little wet from the mud, so the ink has smudged a little bit. But it is a tag, and it kind of looks like a tag that they would tie to the toe of a person in a morgue.
That's concerning.
But corpse blood doesn't make strigoi, you said, correct?
It does if it's vampire. It just needs to
Okay.
be vampire blood.
So naturally, people like you and us should be concerned and also careful.
I suppose we should check out the morgue.
Does the school have a morgue?
Yes,
would hope
it does
not.
offer things like biology, medicine, medical degrees, funerary science degrees. Actually, you would know Herb is getting a funerary science degree. That's something that he talks about a lot. It's, kind of his degree program that he's gone into. So he talks about it. And that was also how Valentina tried to flirt with him, but that didn't work out. But yeah, there's a ton of different degree programs that all require a morgue, and citizens of the Ravensburg Valley can, in fact, donate their bodies to the Ravensburg Academy to be studied by various medical students, funerary degree students, biology students, things like that.
Okay. So looks like we get to go to my favorite subject, biology.
To the anatomy building.
All right. So yep, you head, unless there's something else that you would like to do, you all can head
No.
over to the morgue.
I like charging on one clue. That's me.
Can I do an investigation? I still don't know about the names on the diary. Can I do an investigation on their conversation, trying to like sneak a peek at them?
What do you mean? Like trying to figure out who the names are in the diary that Valentina had
Yeah, because they're like nearby. Can I like listen in on their conversation before we go? Would that help the case, or is it completely irrelevant?
like who would you want to zero in on? I'm not going to tell you what's relevant or not relevant to the conversation. I'm just going to be giving you clues and red herrings and hoping you all figure it out.
Got it. Okay.
Because mysteries, that's how they work.
Well, there's two names, right?
Yes, the two names that you recognize are Osmond and Herb. And both Osmond and Herb would be nearby, as both of them are part of the track team.
Got it. Yeah, so like on our way to the morgue, can I do like a investigation check just to see, or perception to
Yeah,
see?
I would say you could do a perception check as you all are walking. I would say at this point, Boris has kind of left, is in the middle of leaving after the stern talking to like Osmond, Zapper, and Dale. So you might be able to pick up on something.
I got 17. That's 23.
Cool. Yeah, with a 23, you see them kind of get up and sulkily begin to move off as a group. And you actually catch Osmond turning to his two friends and just going, "Damn, it was just a prank," before they just kind of walk off.
Interesting.
The plot thickens.
Does Maximoff tell the rest of us?
Yes. So I take this information like, hey guys, I think one of the guys might be up to something. It sounds like they were doing a prank. Do we want to go check on them and see what kind of prank they were doing?
Yes, I say we should. Who knows? It might have been a prank gone wrong.
Exactly. Yes. We're thinking the same thing. Right. So we'll head over to them and kind of like start chat with them, just kind of like casually.
Right. So yeah, they're kind of making their way towards at this point with all of the moving around and investigating things like that. it's probably getting to be around lunchtime. People are beginning to go towards the mess hall and towards the Toil and Trouble, which is still open. The lovely little coffee shop probably has a line at this point. Um, and yeah, you kind of sidle up to them as they're making their way towards one of those two. And how would you all like to engage them in conversation?
Ooh, I think I'll leave this up to you guys.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Played any good pranks lately?
Gee, that was
Subtle.
compulsive
Um,
liar, but instantly goes for the.
I'm gonna say Osmond, with a little hesitation, goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And Zapper just goes, how did you hear that?
See, I know everything you did, and you've just doubly confirmed it for us. So why don't you tell us everything? Just make it nice and clear.
Knows all,
And
sees
then
all.
Osmond kind of crosses his arms. Zapper kind of is still looking at you in awe before Dale goes, all right, look, we thought it would be funny if we got one of the bodies from the morgue, put it on a stick by the side of the road, having it point down the path. We thought it would be funny. We started running. We did it last night. We started running. Body disappeared. We freaked out.
You thought it was funny to stage a murder scene.
No, like the scarecrows just pointing down the path of like, ooh, run that way.
I mean, it's
Just a
kind
little
of
surprise.
To be fair, yeah, I find a joke in that. I would have done that too.
I mean, maybe some of the
You have no
scarecrows
idea
wouldn't have
what it
found it
was?
funny, but no, it was just a random body. We just picked one at random. They've all been donated. It's fine.
funny. So you're saying this is for science?
No, obviously not.
So did it just disappear? Did you see anybody that might have been around to take the body?
Did anyone see you do this?
I don't think anyone saw us do it, but it just vanished. Someone obviously took it down. How else would, I mean, someone took it down and skinned it, it looked like.
So someone happened to come across a vampire corpse that you geniuses left out and decided, hey, here's a great idea. I should make my own Strigoi.
Is it possible a group of wild sturges found the body that they left out?
Uh, could have been, but that.
Oh, we didn't think about that. And then Dale just kind of, yeah, we didn't think about that.
You didn't think about a lot of things.
Probably should have just got a werewolf body. I told you we should have grabbed the werewolf body.
So all of this was just happenstance.
I mean,
Okay, so now we have someone that got this body for their own purposes, but they didn't actually get the body themselves from the morgue. Interesting.
Sounds like the Sturges came across the body themselves.
Yeah. Okay. All right, with this new information, I guess we could just head to the morgue and see what else we could find there.
I guess.
This guy's told us pretty much everything they know at this point.
it does sound like it. And they've all obviously gotten in huge trouble for doing this. So they're already like in a bad mood. especially Osmond, of course. Um, and yeah, if you all want to head to the morgue.
We're off to see bodies.
All right.
The wonderful bodies of Ravensburg.
So yeah.
Skinned alive.
So you head on over to the morgue. And yeah, the morgue is not as staffed as it usually is. There's usually a whole retinue of staff there. But over the summer, it's a little more lax. You actually see there is a mummy that is sitting kind of at the desk sorting through some files. Um, and um, hmm, I'm trying to think of if any of you would recognize her. Probably not. But she is a mummy. Um, she appears to have a lot of charms sort of hanging around her neck, a lot of rings on her fingers, and you even see as she's kind of shifting around, some of her bandages move a little bit, and there's actually charms inside of her body. She's kind of sorting through the files, and she looks up. Hello, how can I help you?
Hey there, you. Coach Bahidi sent us to find out more information about any bodies that may have gone missing. It's regarding the running incident you may have already heard of.
In particular, vampiric bodies, like vampires and zombies.
Oh, um, yes. We did have a body disappear sometime last night. Um, I've been trying to locate the file as they took the tag too, of course. Um, it just there was no sign of forced entry. They must have had a key. Um, I am frankly at a loss of what to do. I usually deal with the artifact lab. I only do this just because the artifact lab isn't staffed over summer break. Um, but I'm just at the loss. Did Was the body found?
Yes,
You could say that.
it does look a little empty here. Is anyone in particular missing for the day?
Um, well, I am the only one that is working. Um, we don't really allow for morgue usage over the summer. Um, so I'm usually the only one here until it closes. Um, just to make sure the all of the preservatives are working correctly. Making sure the bodies do not rot. Um,
So
Does anybody else have access to the morgue other than you, especially after hours?
Well, most of the students who have things like certain tracks of biology degree or medical degrees, or funerary science degrees, um, they all have keys to the morgue for the purposes of lab work during the school year. Um,
above board, wasn't it to clarify that it was the guys playing it right who took the body?
We
yes.
know who took the body.
That's right, he did.
Need to find where it was taken more.
I was just trying to find out if any more
More
vampiric
bodies.
bodies were missing after that.
Hmm.
Just to
No, all of the bodies were accounted for. I checked this morning while making the report. Whoever took the body left the drawer open. Um, they just left the drawer open when they took the body. They didn't bother to close it. Which was how I noticed. What I checked in, there are bodies in all of the other drawers, and the tags seem to match the files. Um,
Okay.
So again, above board, it seems like the general mystery was that these guys wanted to play a prank using this body, and then uh,
The prank went wrong.
the Sturges happened to come across it or were attracted to it, which in turn turned the Sturge into a Strigoi.
so far, yes.
Okay, is there anything more to that, or
I
don't
don't
know.
think,
I would say.
at least at the morgue, I don't think there's anything we could find anymore since we already know who took the body. And on the field, I think we found the most we could do.
right?
Where did the body go after we fought with it?
You have no idea. You all left, and the professors left with the sort of skin. You have no idea.
Okay.
Okay, well, just to double check, let's try and find out where the body is and do our little own investigation about it.
Okay.
Go to Professor Volkov's office.
Sorry?
We should go to Professor Volkov's office.
Okay. Any
The head of
particular...
athletics. He was called to be in charge of the investigation, right?
Yes, but we're not supposed to be part of the investigation. So I was thinking that we could locate the body and do it ourselves without alerting the staff.
What other area can we check that won't alert the staff? Because if the staff finds out, they're probably gonna try to make us stop.
Is it a matter of knocking on laboratory doors, so to speak? I'm not sure where the body would be other than a morgue.
Are there any other morgues on campus?
No, it's just this one.
All right, so how would we be able to find where the body is? I guess we could. Okay, let's go talk to the professor, see if we can try charming it out of him.
All right, let's do that.
Fine. So you head over towards the athletics office. And you see there are quite a lot of professors that are kind of standing around, as well as faculty members that are sort of standing around outside of the building. They're just kind of having quiet conversations. And yeah, they actually let you just kind of walk into the building. The receptionist at the desk will just say that she's some sort of hex blood, probably purple skin, jet black hair, little tiny horns that kind of come out of her head as she kind of looks up. Oh, your students. Are you wanting to talk to one of the coaches? They just finished up an all hands meeting.
Yes, please. We were actually hoping to talk to all hands.
To who? I'm sorry.
To what's the professor's name?
Volkov, right? The werewolf?
Volkov.
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 Volkov. Yes. I'll see if I can get him. And she just quickly gets up and darts around. It's probably about maybe 5 minutes before she comes back and just kind of pops her head around the corner. Yeah, he has some time for you. Just come with me.
Of course.
And you make your way to Coach Volkov's office. It's very clear as you walk in that Professor Volkov was a baseball player at Ravensburg Academy. He has his jersey, he has some of his bats, he has some of the baseballs stored in um, glass containers. He has trophies. It's very clear that this was like his thing. As you come in, and the receptionist kind of nods and shuts the door. So you wish to speak to me?
Yes. Is Volkov is the werewolf guy, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Vol Blantros, are there chairs to sit down?
Yes, there's three chairs directly in front of the desk.
Awesome. Blantros sits in the middle. Uh, we hello, uh, Coach Volkov or Professor?
Coach.
Sorry, that was to you.
Yes,
I was.
it's Coach. It's Coach Volkov.
Hello, Coach Volkov. How was the investigation going?
Well, seems it was prank gone wrong. Um,
How, of course, it would be a prank gone wrong. I swear, some of these other students are just so immature. I prefer more mature men myself.
moving swiftly past that attempt to flirt with me. Do you have any additional information regarding prank gone wrong? There are still open ends.
Well, it would seem that the pranksters left the body, and then the sturge, a sturge came across it and fed on it. What was it that? What are the loose ends, if I may ask? Sorry, I only ask because it did try to attack us.
Yes, very true. Um, I spoke with Miss Fayek. She is mummy that runs Artifact Lab. She says lab was not broken into, but body was gone. Osmond Zapperdale, they do not have key to morgue. They are
And
not smart enough to lockpick lock.
and they weren't able to get their hands on a key.
We do not know. They would not say.
I swear to God, I should have set them on fire. Anywho, um, that's very interesting. Perhaps someone should talk to them again about that. But as of right now, it seems like any vampire or Dhampir would be a risk, right?
Well, it is only in great quantities. So one little bite, flick, they go away. Nothing happens. It is sustained feeding, which is why we were concerned about dead body. Dead body cannot swat. Dead body cannot run away. Dead body cannot move. Um, so they can feed and feed and feed and feed until they get big and fat. Um,
Huh.
so
So
students
it
are not concerned. Corpses are.
so it would seem that someone put the students up to it.
Perhaps. They clammed up, they say nothing.
All right. Do you guys have anything to ask?
That's sexually harassing the coach, I guess.
What? I'm sorry?
I said nothing that isn't just sexually harassing the coach.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Oh, listen,
Um,
I am on a mission here, okay?
Yeah, you've been on a mission since the last time you saw him.
I mean, a big werewolf. It's deep and it's real. We hope.
let's see what. Are we able to like do a perception on the body that was left behind? I mean, it's still there, right? They still have the body
Uh,
or the skin.
the skin. It doesn't seem to be in the office. You have no idea where they put it. It might be in one of the medical tents, but those are like just spread out across campus.
Okay.
You can try talking to Gale and Zapper again. I can see about charming them, I suppose.
Are there any other like Dhampirs that are like staff members or students that might know more about this?
Well, you would know Valentina is a Dhampir, and she was there during this whole thing. There is another staff member who is working, you would know probably, who runs like the sort of horse racing and dressage and that sort of section of sports, since this school does have that. It's the Beastmaster Keenan von Elk, um, who kind of runs all that and the horse stables and things like that. But he wasn't anywhere near the incident. But those are the only two people that you can think of that might know something theoretically.
I think we should talk to Valentina.
Yeah, I think that.
Is Valentina? No, it's her brother who's part of the course that involves the bodies, right?
Yes, he has a funerary science degree. He's on it. Well, I should say he doesn't have it yet. He's on the funerary science degree track. Um,
In my head, thinking that Valentina might have been able to uh, use her brother's key, I guess.
you mean Garden? Valentina is the
Oh, right. Sorry.
Dhampir.
Stokalo. God, why would Valentina want to do okay, I say we go back to the three numbskulls and further question them, because they are clearly hiding something and they are clearly up to something other than what they were doing, and they are hiding who put them up to this. So
All right. Yeah, you can certainly see if you can try and locate the three of them. Um,
Coach,
yes.
dear sweet coach, do you know where those three numbskulls are at the current moment?
I do not. I had Stubby escort them back to their dorms. Um, their parents will be notified about their misbehavior. They're, I guess, being put on house arrest.
Okay, well, gentlemen, shall we go?
I think we shall.
All right. See you soon, Coach.
Yes, see you soon, coach.
I'm sure. And he kind of shuts the door after you all, and you continue out into the bustling student village. Seeing as how it's around lunchtime, everybody's going to the mess hall, and of course, the Toil and Trouble, the little coffee shop, has a very long line outside of it. And as you're walking, I would like everybody to roll a perception check.
I got 13.
Whoa.
18.
18.
Ah, Stuka. 9.
Oof. And Jaithryn?
12.
12. Seems Maximoff is the person who sees things. As you are walking along, you don't see Osmond, Dale, or Zapper anywhere. However, you do see Garden, and she is dragging her brother by his ear into a nearby alley.
Okay, we're definitely following them.
That looks slightly suspicious.
A little. What if I roll 24 for sneaking up to eavesdrop?
Yeah, you certainly can. You manage to sneak up to the alleyway that she has dragged her brother into. And you do overhear their conversation. They are speaking relatively at a normal speaking volume, assuming that this alleyway is like a safe way to kind of, excuse me, speak kind of at a normal volume. And Garden just, what the fuck? Really? After everything that I've done for you, you fuck my ex?
Oh,
Look, he was the one that came on to me. I have no idea why. And why not? You've taken everything else. Mama and mother favor you, after all. I am not their favorite. Yes, you are. You have been. You have been for the past 12 years. So forgive me if I'm a bit bitter. But my ex? Well, I'm used to getting table scraps from you, so who cares about a little sloppy seconds? Excuse you? No, I'm frankly done with all of this. You've been our parents' favorite forever. I've gotten nothing. And I'm sorry that you're a bit bitter about this whole situation. But I'll just let you be mad. Well, I guess I'll just have to tell mother and mom about this. And if you do, I'll tell them that you don't want to become a full hag. You wouldn't. Oh, I would. I know you've been saving money to fuck off after graduation so that mother and mama don't turn you into a full hag. I've known this for years. That's why they've been buttering you up. Ever since mom died, their magic hasn't been the same. The potion shop has been failing. So no fucking wonder they want a third person, and that's you, sis. It's not me. I can go wherever the hell I want after I graduate. They don't care. They want you. And if they know that you're going to run for it, they'll come, they'll drag you back, they'll turn you into a hag, and you'll be stuck in Hexenhold for the rest of your goddamn life with all of our cats. And I can do whatever the hell I want. So just try me. Fuck you. Fine. I'm gonna go get lunch. And you can go sulk off somewhere else. This conversation's done.
oh,
And Herb begins to leave. I'm going to say with that stealth roll, Herb does not notice you. He just storms right past you out of the alleyway and off towards the toil and trouble.
Oh,
sorry, I know
okay.
the name is Toil in Trouble, but it just sounds like toilet trouble.
Oh, dear. Well, I mean, they do serve dumpster fire nachos on Saturday nights for hungover college students. So maybe.
I'm sure housekeeping or the cleaning lady hates that for sure. Let's go. Can we go in and see how she's doing? She seems like she just went through a lot.
Yeah, if you do want to go into the alleyway, she is kind of a little bit bleary-eyed as she kind of just kind of looks up and just kind of wipes them.
Okay.
I'm fine. I don't know why you're following me.
We weren't actually, but we heard a little bit of a commotion. Are you doing okay?
Just a brotherly and sisterly spat as per usual.
I'm not okay. Are your spats normally that intense?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Wow.
So if you don't mind,
Brothers, am I right? What was it about this time?
just my brother being a pain in my ass.
Or was it a pain in his?
Oh my god.
Um, well, I mean, we're here if you want to talk, if you want to vent.
It's really none of your business. And if you don't mind, I am going to get myself a sandwich. And she also then storms off.
Wise choice.
Okay. Should we go to the brother?
I guess sure.
I mean, we have 3 seduction rolls between us, so
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I guess I fly off and kind of try to catch him.
All right. Yeah, if you'd like to make a perception check.
All right, good. Damn it. I got 12.
Yeah, everybody seems to be crowding into either into the mess hall, which is completely enclosed, so you'd have to like fly up to the windows and kind of stare in to see if you can see him, which is weird on the best of days. And the line for the toil and trouble is very long. Um,
Can I try doing a perception check for the brother?
yeah, you certainly can.
Okay, because I rolled a 26.
Ooh.
All right. So yeah, you just walk up to the line for the toil and trouble, and you just march up the line, looking at everybody until you see Herb, just kind of standing there with his arms folded. He still very clearly has like a scowl on his face as he's tapping his foot very impatiently. There's probably about 40 people in front of him. In this line, it's a very long line. Um,
Yeah,
Um,
really.
what's his name again?
Herb, yeah.
Right. Uh, hey, Herb, how's it going?
Could be better. This line could be shorter.
Isn't that always the case? Um, so I'm sorry for, you know, putting my nose where it's not supposed to be, but I couldn't help but overhear the spat that you had with your sister.
Oh,
So again, I have to ask, is everything okay?
yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, Stonewall. Um,
Um, Crazy morning, right? With that whole body or the whole bloody stake in the field today?
Yeah, wasn't expecting that on the second day of this whole boot camp thing.
Right. And here's the thing. Don't tell anyone else, but apparently it was from the morgue.
Not surprised, it's an easy place to get cadavers.
Right, but don't you need a key to get in there?
Yeah, you do.
Well, as it turns out, the bunch of numbskulls that decided to do this whole prank uh don't have a key. They don't have access.
They could have lockpicked it. People lockpick things all the time.
Yeah, but they're not exactly the brightest bulbs in the bunch.
I'm sure they could have figured something out.
Don't make me grab your ear.
Look, only my sister's allowed to do that. You do that, I'm fighting you.
I happen to have your key on you right now, perchance.
Um, no, unfortunately. I lost it. I'm gonna have to get a new one.
Right. Where did
Wait.
you
Yeah, you lost it? Like you misplaced it or
where was the last time you had it?
yeah.
No, it was on the first day. I kept my key. Must have left it in a drawer somewhere.
Was that before or after you saw Osmond? What do you say?
Roll me an insight check. Herb's quiet. He's a little bit better at.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, I got 4.
got a
Oof.
19.
22.
Oh, thank God.
He relatively keeps a stoic face, but you do see him kind of like lock up a little bit as you mention that.
So
He
you're
doesn't
saying
really come over to my place at all.
but it's possible you may have just misplaced it, I guess.
Well, maybe you have a meetup hangout spot?
I don't hang out with Osmond.
Any idea where he is right now?
No, not really.
Question: are there cell phones in this universe?
No, there are not.
Okay. I was gonna ask if he
There's no
had
cell phones, there's no Monstergram, there's no, anything like that.
no Monster High.
No. It's kind of like dark academia, Victorian, Edwardian sort of time. So you would have like phonographs and records, but you wouldn't have like cars and cell phones.
Right.
Ooh.
You mind? Never mind. Can you please tell us where Osmond stays? Like what his room number is?
Um I don't quite remember. I think he's on in the same square as I am, but I could be wrong.
Can I use persuasion on him?
Sure. How would you like to persuade him?
Um, a little flirting, perhaps? A little smooching. It was like, I heard you're really good and like top of your class.
All right. So you can certainly roll persuasion.
Okay. Persuasion. Okay. Let me try. Shit, that is not great. I got 10.
Oof.
Yeah, that failed.
I wouldn't say top of my class, but I mean, not at the bottom either.
Um, are you shoot, I don't know. Is everybody in the lunch line right now? Like,
There are some of them that are in the mess hall. So this is just like one of the various like eateries that are around campus.
got it. Okay.
It's just this is
Mhm.
one of the most frequented ones. It's student run, it's a little coffee shop. They serve great little lunches as opposed to the cafeteria that kind of just serves like cafeteria food. And then of course there's the rookery, but nobody goes to the rookery unless you want to be viewed as the snobbiest of snobby vampires.
Ah,
Um,
so
which
naturally, so
Off
obviously
we go.
naturally, Sasha has a membership there.
I mean, maybe.
Um. So, uh, could could Sasha try to persuade him?
Yeah.
Let's see. Rolling, rolling.
Are you guys rolling like on your screens? Or is it like a physical die?
Motherfucking!
I
I
have physical
rolled a
dice.
natural one.
I've been using the Beyond app in this case because I don't
Yeah.
like to do math.
Can I'm done. I'm done. I'm so done with that dice. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's an 18.
And what would you like to say to Herb?
So I would like to be like, hey, you again, horrible names, horrible with everything. This is why I'm not in this is why I
This
don't do
is Herb, right?
Yeah,
Herb.
you're speaking to Herb.
Yeah, Herb. But what's the other guy's name? The
Osmond.
Osmond. You care about Osmond, right? You want him to be safe and to be good, right?
I guess a little bit. I mean, I kind of feel that way about a lot of my sister's exes. She's
Right.
not the nicest girlfriend in the world.
And the thing is, he could be in some serious trouble right now, and we just want to help. So could you please help us help him?
When he visited last night, he showed me a note that he thought that I wrote. I didn't write it, but it was a golden opportunity at that point. He was coming on to me. He's a handsome guy. So I took him up on the offer. I may or may not have given him the morgue key. He might still have it. But yeah, he had a note that wasn't written by me. I still have it.
Could I
Um,
see that note, please?
I don't have the note on me. You know what? Meet me at my dorm, and he kind of pulls out a fountain pen and a piece of paper because of course he would always have one on him, and he writes down the sort of address of his dorm and rips it and hands it over. Meet me at my dorm at like 9 o'clock tonight, and I'll give you the note. I'm not gonna try and run home and get it. I'm not getting out of this line. It's long enough already.
I
Meet me at
understand.
9 o'clock and I'll give you the note.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll see ya. I'll see you then.
Great. And
Okay,
then
got it. So
as you all kind of walk away, there's definitely kind of a moment where you kind of see him kind of like just over your shoulder, just kind of hands on hips and just as it kind of like just doubles over before recomposing himself.
okay. So hate to jump to conclusions, guys, but I think I have a picture here. Do you
Okay.
still? Who has the note? Or do I still have the note from the diary?
I would say yes, you do.
Okay. So Belantros, or Sasha, um, unfolds the letter again, and he points out the heart with Osmond and Herb. Uh, and he is like, so I think I have a pretty good picture of where this is
Okay. What are we thinking?
leading. I am thinking that Valentina wrote a note to uh, Osmond, pretending to be Herb, writing a love note, and was it Herb that gave Osmond the key?
Yes, because Herb would have a mortuary key because of his
Right.
mortuary science degree.
And then I think somehow Valentina got the key from Osmond. But and I think Valentina might have been the one who put up those numbskulls up to the prank, or did it through no, this doesn't make sense because why would she write why would she if Osmond was in on this, then why would she have to write the note? Guys,
I don't.
Um,
I think we just need to talk to
I'm
Osmond.
really horrible with like love quarrels. um, okay. Shoot. We got to know. Is there like a one-sided infatuation here?
it
Is that
seems
what's happening, or
it feels like this kind of situation where she couldn't be with Herb, and so she was, I don't know, maybe she was spying on them as they were doing the do.
okay? But
Talking to
also,
her.
Maybe she took the key from Os was it Osmond's room that they did the deed in?
You have no idea.
Or wherever they did it from. And
well, okay, so that gives us two options. It could either be that like um he was trying to get the key, and I don't know how long this situation between the two has been happening, or he just wanted to get the key and he like enticed them to do it, or Valentina might be a little more petty than first thought and trying to frame him.
oh, that could be true. It could be that she um
Like we
it
have
was
to think that like there was a note that she wrote with their name.
either way, we would be able to find this out for certain by comparing the note to this page that we have.
Well, my question is like, why did she write the note in the first place, acting like it's her, it's him? So that makes me a little suspicious of her.
Let's just pick Osmond or Valentina, and I'll put the whammy on them and tell them to tell us everything.
Yeah.
Was it it was Herb that she was into, right?
Yes. Herb
Yeah.
rejected her because
And
he's
do we
into
know
guys.
do we know if Herb had a thing for Osmond? I mean, clearly he slept with him. Do we know that he had feelings for him?
based on
could
what
have
he
not.
said, it was good enough. I guess I would say. Like he was like, "You're cute, let's do it," but not
Right.
like hanging on him, sort of thing.
So maybe she put them up to it, thinking that Herb would get rejected, um, and he would feel the same sting that she felt.
Could be.
But they ended up doing it anyways, which might have pissed her off even more, and so she took the key with the opportunity of this, because maybe she was wanting to watch the rejection,
Mm.
but that didn't happen. And so she took the key to frame Herb for this, and maybe she put this whole thing up as also a way to put a wedge between Herb and, God help me,
Osmond.
Osmond?
no, not Osmond, the sister,
Oh,
Garden.
Garden, because Valentina is also the best friend of Garden.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're just dealing with a very psychotic and possessive girl with infatuations of grandeur.
We can go accuse her and see if she cracks.
I think we should
I mean, I
compare
don't
the
think.
letter and the note before we do that.
All right.
So
Yeah, I
can we?
feel like we got the most out of her as of now, at least until we have more proof on her.
Yes, before we confront her.
Yeah, we might have to wait until we get the note. Can we like fast forward to
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
can we time
certainly.
skip?
getting the note?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Time
So
skip.
cheerleading practice goes relatively normally. Valentina is still her bubbly self, but Garden is definitely, there's a bit of a sour note to the whole thing, just probably because of the spat with her brother. The next long distance run that you do and kind of some of the stretches and things like that for the track team, similar thing. You all make your way over to dinner. Doesn't really matter where. And then it's around the time of 9 o'clock, and you make your way over to Herb's place.
And I guess I'll knock.
Yeah, Herb opens the door. All right, I got it. And he hands over the note. And the first thing you notice, the paper has a pink hue to it.
Shocker.
All right.
Okay. Volantros is just like, thanks, Herb. I really appreciate this.
Yeah. So I did manage to speak to Osmond, and it seems like for their prank, they're getting sent home. I don't know what other disciplinary action is going to be taken, but they're definitely getting sent home. Or at least off campus. Probably tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. And trust as a last thing that he would like to say to her. So listen, I have lived for a very, very, very and trust me, a lot of this melodrama just doesn't end up mattering in the future.
Yeah, I know. It is what it is, and we move on. Well, good luck with whatever you're doing.
Well, see ya.
And he just shuts the door, seems to go on with his life. And yeah, you have the folded up piece of paper.
Alrighty. So tell me if you guys notice anything. He holds up the note and the letter.
The rips match up, as does the handwriting.
All right, so we know Valentina is the one that did this. What does the note say? Is there anything that we can perceive from this?
Yeah, so it is, of course, a very sappy love note. Basically saying how, Herb has always had some kind of feelings for Osmond, but stayed away because, his sister was dating him and all of that stuff. And he just wanted to have spent some time together and get to know him better and all of that stuff. And then there's a section where he promises to give the mortuary key in exchange for sleeping with him. And then of course it's signed Herb. But as you all figured out, because of the style of the paper and the fact that it matched the rip and the handwriting matches, this was Valentina writing this.
Okay, looks like it's time to nail a vampire. Or a Dhampir.
I am down for that.
Okay, I'm assuming she's in the girls' dormitory, and I'm assuming we're not allowed there.
So technically the dorms they're kind of co-ed in the sense of like there isn't like a section of because it's row houses in sort of like village formations. So the houses themselves they only put like girls in one house or boys in one house. They don't mix them, but the houses neighboring each other could be like a girl house and a boy house or that sort of thing. Or whoever's there, they go by whatever pronouns you check on the box. And so it's not sort of, oh, this is the girl section, that's the boy section. It's where's the house? Just like finding a house in a neighborhood.
Right.
And you do not know where Valentina's address is.
Ooh, here's an idea. Are there, I'm assuming there are like people in charge of the houses.
There is a housing office, but at this time of night, it's probably closed. It is
Okay.
about 9:15 or so.
Uh, could I try tracking her by the scent on pages?
Yeah, are we able to like go talk to her? I mean, he must be in his dorm by now.
Wait, who?
Herb.
No,
Well,
we're
you just
not
spoke
looking
to
for her.
Herb.
Tina.
Oh, we did. Yes. Okay.
I'm assuming she like perfumes her pages.
Actually, she doesn't. She just seems to have her diary. Um,
Okay. How would we find her? One second. This is one of those situations where it's good to have spells.
yes.
Do 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 do. I don't have any spells that could help. Do you guys?
Finding.
I let me see what I have. I don't have any spells for sure, but I might have a skill. Increases languages. I don't. I have dark vision, but I don't know if that will help anything at right now specifically.
I think almost every single monster in this campaign has some sort of form of dark vision.
That makes sense. Do we have to sleep it off and wait until the morning to find her?
I mean, you certainly can if you want to.
Try breaking
I
into
mean,
the
it's not like we
academic
can
office.
go knock. It's not like we can go. Ooh, 1 second. Blah blah blah.
Yes, the housing department would be open in the morning.
120 feet. Could I summon a Hound of Ill Omen to hunt her down?
That requires the target to be within sight.
Right. What you're saying, a hound doesn't have the smelling ability to hunt someone down?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to sleep it off.
All right, we could do that, and then just hopefully nothing changes between nighttime and in the morning.
All right. So as you all,
Sasha's gonna go to his loft apartment.
as you all are heading back, these things are not very stealthy. Oh, actually, they kind of are. But as you are walking along, making your way back, you see these two forms in a nearby tree. Their eyes glow red. Their wings spread out. They are bat-like wings. They are about average person size. And they seem to notice you just as soon as you notice them. And you hear one of them just hiss over the breeze before they take to the air and go directly towards you.
Oh.
As they come into more into focus, as they zoom towards you, you notice both of them have stark white hair, a sort of reddish brown skin, and a long proboscis. They have dressed themselves in what appears to be burlap of some kind, to cover themselves, rudimentary made clothing, and they fly to attack you. And I need all of you to roll initiative. Ooh.
13.
13 for Sasha, 8 for Jaithryn.
You said initiative?
Yes.
I got 21.
21 for Maximoff. These are... Oh my goodness, they are not doing too well. So first up is going to be Maximoff, as these two creatures are hurtling towards you through the air, their bat-like wings spread, their proboscises bared. What would you like to do?
Does that count as them attacking me first?
No, it's launching into initiative. So because they haven't had their turn yet, they have not attacked yet.
Okay, I will do. I'll do like a warning, strike, like a little slash at them.
All right.
So I'll do. Let's see. I do have plus 10 initiative. So I have 20.
Is that a natural? Oh, that's with the modifiers?
Yeah, with the modifier, yeah.
All right, so that hits as you sweep your knife to strike out at them. You do manage to hit one of them.
Yay, perfect. Okay. What sided die do I throw for damage?
It should say on your weapon. whatever weapon you're using. I think you're using a short sword, so I think that's a D6. So that's the basic bitch cube.
The regular one.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then plus your dexterity modifier.
All right, so I got 11 damage.
Ooh. All right. So you swipe out and you strike one of them across the face, slashing them, causing them to bleed as they make a strange shrieking noise. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Let me see. No, I think I'm gonna step back and let the other guys catch up.
All right. If you are actually using your movement to step back, they will get an attack of opportunity.
Let me see. I'm trying to see my ability because one of them is like. Okay. Then I'll stay engaged.
All right. So we have Sasha followed by Jaithryn, and then the Strigoi.
I'm going to firebolt the one closest to me.
All right, so that'll be the one that Maximoff just slashed. So roll an attack roll.
That is going to be 16.
That just hits.
Yay. That is going to be 12 damage.
Oof. The flames smash across this thing's face, and it throws up its arms almost in defense, giving more of a shriek as the other one continues its flight, flying in. And so we are now with Jaithryn.
Okay, I will attempt to Dissonant Whispers the one that hasn't been attacked yet.
All right. I'm assuming that's a saving throw. What saving throw do I need to do for it?
Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. Is this a charm or a frighten effect?
Yes.
All right. So as you cast your dissonant whispers on it, dissonant whispers does damage, doesn't it?
Yes. Apparently
All right, so I still have to make the saving throw.
Uh,
Ooh. What saving throw is it? Sorry.
Wisdom.
Unfortunately, it gets a 21.
That's half seed. 5 points of damage. Psychic. If it.
All right. So as you whisper into its mind, try and frighten it, you get the sense that these things can't be frightened magically. However, you do some psychic damage to as it sort of grips its head, a little surprised, and lets out a shriek. So we are at the two Strigoi that are on you all. So the first one, it's going to make a swipe at you, Maximoff.
Okay. Let's see.
Does a 21 hit you? Should be under your AC.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so you're going to be taking 5 points of slashing damage and 1 point of acid damage.
All right. So we got.
And then, as it swipes at you, it rears back and lunges at you with its proboscis. Unfortunately, I don't think this one might not hit. It's only a 15.
No, it doesn't.
All right, you very easily dodge as it tries to peck at you with its proboscis. The second one is going to go for you, Jaithryn, and it's also going to go for a claw and then a proboscis. It got a 2. You easily sidestep it as it claws at you, and it's going to go for you with its proboscis. I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit you.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
No, Jaithryn. Does an 11 hit you, Jaithryn?
No.
Nope.
It's the
You
15.
once again deftly sidestep as it goes for you with its proboscis. And we are back up to the top with you, Maximoff. I think Maximoff walked
right
away.
here. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Okay. Let's do another attack. Let's see. I hit 21. Does 21 hit?
Yes, 21 hits.
Okay, perfect. So I also have okay, give me 1 second. I could have sworn I had like extra damage, but it doesn't look like I do.
That would be with sneak attack, and it would only happen if you had advantage on the creature.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I guess I'll roll for damage. Oh wow, I hit 1. Wait, plus damage. It is 9 damage.
All right. Yeah, you get a pretty good chunk out of this monster as you swipe at its chest and cut through the burlap sack that's on it, and do a pretty good wound.
Hooray.
So then next up we have Sasha.
How close are these things to me?
Melee range, probably.
Oh, perfect. Is there anyone in my way?
I would say you would be able to sidestep Maximoff so that you wouldn't hit him, and
Sure,
stay within the Strigoi sort of threatened radius.
let's do that. And I'm going to raise my hand up, outstretched, and uh, a gust of icy wind flows out of my hand towards the monsters. And I'm going to cast Rhymes Binding Ice.
Are you going to try and hit both of them with it?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure. Let's see. I'm not sure there's a like creature limit.
No, it is only an area.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would
So
say that you can easily get into a position with your movement speed to hit both of them and not hit your friends.
yeah, it's a Constitution saving throw of 14.
Constitution save. Um, one of them gets a 20.
Damn it.
Oh my god, they both got a 20. I believe they still take ice damage, but they are not frozen to the ground.
Creature hindered by ice has its speed reduced to 0. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage and
Yeah.
isn't hindered by ice. Okay, so rolling. That's going to be 11, so like 6 or 5.
5. It would be 5. Well, that makes the math easy for one of them. And hey, damage is damage. You all are whittling these things down. All right. And so we move on to Jaithryn.
Go for a straight up rapier attack on the more wounded one. So that is not on button then. 10.
Oof. This thing nimbly steps aside as you make a swipe with your rapier.
All right. That's my turn.
Do you not get a second attack if you don't hit?
I don't. I was mistaken. I'm a lore bard, apparently.
Oh, oops. All right. Right. So I guess that is the end of your turn, and we go to the more hurt creature. And yeah, it's going to once again lash out. It's actually going to split its attacks because there were two people that did damage to it. It's going to do its claw attack towards Sasha. Oof. Does a 23 hit you?
What do you think?
Yes. So you're going to take 5 points of slashing damage. And 2 points of acid damage as this thing claws you. And it's going to go for its proboscis attack against Maximoff.
Ooh, okay.
Does a 17 hit you?
Barely, yes.
Yes. All right. Okay. So you are going to take, as this thing sinks its proboscis in and begins drinking your blood, you're going to take
No.
11 points of piercing damage as it drives its proboscis into you. And
Okay.
oh dear, this could be bad.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. How much is the next one?
You're going to be taking 12 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm almost dying.
Oof. And you
Yeah.
watch as some of the wounds on its body knit back together as it drinks before it rips its proboscis out of you. And that is the end of the first one's turn. The second one, of course, is going to once again go for a claw attack against you, Jaithryn. Damn, it misses. As it swipes, you definitely step to the side. And the second one, the proboscis, also definitely doesn't hit. It goes in for another stab with its proboscis, and you definitely just dance out of the way of it. And we are back up to the top with Maximoff.
Okay. Can't do the math. All right, let's do it. I'll do an attack.
All right.
Shoot. Yeah, let's go for it. All right. 27.
That'll hit.
Yay. Okay. Now let's do for damage. Let's see. 4 plus 5. All right, so I got 5, 8. I did 13 damage.
All right. So you do another big slash across its body, more blood coming out of it. You've basically returned it to where it was before it stabbed you with its proboscis.
All right.
And
good.
we move on to Sasha.
I'm going to point my finger at the one who damaged me and cast lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt can go through both of them. Would you like to do that?
Yes, please.
All right, so both of them are going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
14.
One got a natural 20 for 24, and then one only got an 11. So the first one is only going to take half damage. The second one is going to take full damage. So just give me the full damage and I'll divide it up.
23.
23 points of damage. Woof. The first one that is attacking you and Maximoff. It is toasted. It is almost dead. You would have killed it if it didn't make it save. The other one, oh, yeah, it was 23. The other one is also fried nearly an inch of its life, but it has a little bit more juice in it than the other one.
Blanchius is very like, I am the bringer of storms.
All right. So we are with Jaithryn.
Gonna stab at our more wounded one. But
All
it's
right.
10 again. So end of turn.
Oh, you only got a 10 to.
Yep.
Oh. All right. So the first one, the first Strigoi, is going to do both its claw and proboscis attack towards you, Sasha, because you hurt it the most.
And it deserved it.
It only gets an 11 on its claw attack.
Only 11.
Does that hit you?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant 11 damage.
No, 11 to hit.
No. I mean, wait, yes? Armor class 10. Yeah, it does.
Oh, so it does hit you. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So 5 points of slashing damage and 3 points of acid damage, and it's going to go for you with its proboscis. It also gets an 11 on its proboscis as it drives its proboscis into you. Since it seems, I think you said your AC was 10.
Yes.
All right. So you only take 4 points of piercing damage, but you're going to take 11 points of necrotic damage. And you watch as this creature's wounds begin to knit back up. So the second one is going to try and go for you, Jaithryn, because you've been fighting it and keeping it engaged. It only gets an 11 on its claw attack, which I'm assuming misses.
Correct. Yep.
And its proboscis, it did worse on its proboscis. So once again, you two are locked in a dance of not actually being able to hit each other, just dancing around each other. And we are back up to the top with Maximoff.
All right. Which one's close to dying?
The one that you are fighting, it's a little better than it was before, but it is hanging on. Both of them are hanging on, but this one is hanging on by less fingers, so to speak.
Okay. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. 24 hit?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I have, ooh, this is good. 17 damage.
That is enough. You drive your
Yay.
sword into its ribs as you watch its eyes sort of bleed as it shrivels a little before it slides off your sword onto the ground. And that is it. Dead.
I did it.
All right. And we move on to Sasha.
You know what? We're probably going to take a long rest after this anyways. So I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt again.
All right. Got a 24, so it takes half damage.
What is with you in 20s?
I don't know. This was the second natural 20 that I rolled.
Wow.
Just let me put it this way. Just be glad it wasn't on an attack, because it would have been full damage plus the roll instead of just the roll. So be happy this is saving throws and not attacks.
19, so 8. No, wait,
Oof.
that's what's 19 divided by 2?
Actually, it
How
would
much?
be 9 because 9 plus 9 is 18, and then it would be like half to get to, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 9 damage.
All right. This thing is not doing too hot. So Jaithryn, hopefully you can hit it this time.
See. There we go, 24.
That'll hit.
Yay.
9 points of piercing damage.
9. Oof, this thing is barely hanging on. It is a sneeze away from death, and it's its turn, and it's going to try and claw you. Ooh, it might actually. It seems you've broken the curse, because it got an unnatural 20 with a 15 on the die for its claw attack. So you're going to be taking 7 points of slashing damage. Ooh, and 12 points of acid damage as it just, in a last ditch move of desperation, it's then going to go for you with its proboscis. Oh my god. It gets a 24 to hit you with its proboscis.
Oh my god.
So you're going to be taking 8 points of piercing damage as it drives its proboscis into you. And 13 points of necrotic damage. What did you say?
Face plant. Knocked out.
Oof. All right, so yeah, you fall to the ground and it stands over your body and you watch as it rears back about to stab you with its proboscis again. However, that was the end of its turn. So, top of the round, Maximoff, what would you like to do?
I'll go ahead and save him and attack the other one. So I'll hit with does 25 hit?
25 does hit.
Okay, perfect. And I have 5, 8, 14 damage.
All right. This thing is surprisingly still up as it had quite a bit of life in it now that it drank a bunch of Jaithryn's blood. So, Sasha, can we hopefully end it?
Agonizer's Scorcher.
What?
I'm casting Agonizer's
Oh,
Scorcher.
Agonizar's Scorcher. Okay.
Oh,
Agonizer's
sweet.
All right. So, saving throw. What saving throw is it?
14.
For what? Dexterity?
Yeah, dexterity 14.
Ooh. It got a 17. But it takes half damage, and I will say there is a possibility you can still kill it with half damage.
Okay. That's gonna be a 7 damage.
7 damage? Is that halved already?
No, yeah, it's halved already.
Okay. That was exactly lethal.
Yes.
So you blast this roar of flames that just roasts this Strigoi as it screams and falls to the ground, unable to finish off its prey. And both of the Strigoi are dead.
Yes. We did it.
At this point, I would say that a bunch of people come running around the corner as they had heard spells being flung as you have cast lightning bolt several times. It is Boris Volkov and Corinna Sawtooth are running towards you all. I'm going to make a Jaithryn, you're going to regain 5 points as Corinna pours a health potion into your mouth. And Boris looks down at these dead Strigoi and just, are these creatures, the Strigoi, formed from the body?
Yes, they are. And
Oh,
if I may say, I would very much like to have an arm to lean on, please. Sasha is very, very damaged.
you have friends. You are fine. And Corinna kind of helps you, Jaithryn, to your feet. Oh, dearie, you're probably going to have to take quite a nap. At least we have these out of the way. Hopefully there weren't any more. But you should probably get some rest.
Like an excellent idea.
Yes, please.
How, just to do like a health check on everybody, how's everybody on HP?
1-8.
Sasha is at 13 health points.
I thought everyone was on single digits for that one. Oof.
I was on 4. Yeah, I was
Oof.
really close. Yeah. It was quite intense.
Yeah. Corinna is right. You all go take a
You need to
nap,
rest.
go to sleep. We will clean up bodies, inform professors. And so you all end up going home and having a long rest.
Perfect. Back to 4.
Your long rest is undisturbed, and while the sun doesn't technically come up in the Ravensburg Valley, as the sky is consistently covered in a sort of gloomy cloud, today is a little bit darker than usual. The sun isn't coming through the clouds as strongly as you wake up and head off to your activities. Track seems to be beginning normally. However, the cheerleaders are a bit perturbed, particularly Garden, who is kind of impatiently waiting. A lot of the other cheerleaders are kind of scratching their heads and confused as you walk up. And one of the cheerleaders, you probably just some random like tabaxi comes up and just, do you know where Valentina is? She left her dorm in the middle of the night.
No, we don't. We were actually going to talk with her.
Yeah, I was just worried because everyone heard about the Strigoi attacking. And I just was hoping that she wasn't one of the people that they attacked. Yeah, she just vanished in the middle of the night.
Did she leave a note or anything?
No, she just left. She's Garden's roommate, and Garden didn't hear anything.
Uh, um, uh, what do you guys know of Valentina? Does she have any family close by or friends?
I would say she is from the Nocturne Federation, so it's a bit far away. It's like a 2 days carriage ride to the edge of it, so she's probably not going there.
Well, did
Um,
you pack anything at all? Like, is anything missing, or is it just like everything is intact in her room?
at this point, I would say Garden comes up and is like, "No, she didn't take anything. The only thing she took was her diary, but I mean, she takes that everywhere."
Okay. Hmm. Um.
Could you show
Um,
us to your room? Maybe we should look around.
yes, please.
Uh, um, sure, yeah. I don't mind. Um, and then she kind of runs over and she speaks with Bahiti for a little bit before Bahiti just nods. And she just kind of, practice is going to be delayed for about another hour, so make sure you get any stretches in that you need to. We're going to hit the ground running. And she starts guiding the girls into like stretching and things like that while Garden takes you over to her dorm. It is quite a hike, and Garden is pretty quiet the whole time, finding out all the stuff she did about her ex and her brother and all of that stuff. On top of Valentina just vanishing, um, it's probably the reason that she's a bit quiet. But she takes you into the house, which is practically identical to whatever dorms you're staying in. The houses are all identical, and she takes you up to Valentina's room where the door is wide open, and um yeah, this is her room. As you can see, there's not really anything missing. She didn't make her bed. Maybe she thought she was coming back, or I don't know. It's shockingly, it is almost entirely made. The only thing she would need to do would be to fluff her pillow and put the little corner of the blanket that she pushed up back. She presumably sleeps like a corpse, probably with her hands over her chest or just at her side. She is a vampire after all. Um,
Investigation.
yeah, you can do an investigation check.
8.
Oof.
Wait, hold on. I got 12.
19.
All
You
right.
said 19?
So, as you are kind of looking around the room, um, you notice there is some sort of black soot on the windowsill and a little bit on the desk that's kind of looks like it's traveling towards, just from the way that the grains are laying, towards the bed.
And the window is unlatched.
Yes, the window is unlatched. Yeah, Valentina likes to have the window open when she sleeps.
I suggest we check around outside by the window.
Sure. Um, yeah, do you need it open any farther? Or
I think I would plan to go out and around and check like beneath it
okay.
outside.
It is a second, her bedroom is on the second story. The first
Interesting.
story has like the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, that sort of thing of these little houses, and then the top floor has all the bedrooms. So it
I
is
do feel
second
that.
story.
Hmm.
Mm,
Um, are you looking out the window? Um, or just along the edge?
I guess out. Yeah. Is there any likely landmarks ahead or
Like,
something of
or
that nature?
claw marks along the wall?
With that perception check, I'll let you keep it since you're kind of following the same lead a little bit. You go outside and you look up. Around the window, there is almost like soot underneath the window. It kind of swirls and moves up into the window.
Need to find a likely haunt for the Strigoi to have taken her to.
Can I do a nature check to like think about what could be leaving the soot?
Sure, you can do a nature check. I'm going to say, actually, you can do a nature check or an arcana check.
Oh, Arcana then. Definitely Arcana.
Ah, shit.
Okay, 12.
All right, so you got a 12. Anyone else doing a check?
Let me see how much Arcana do I have.
I got an 8.
Oof.
I got 14.
14.
Yeah.
With those rolls, I would say you all would be able to guess. There are various things that could have happened. It seems like something entered her window. And seeing as how there was no sign of a struggle or no sign of anything, it probably was some kind of spirit of some kind that came in through the window and is either existing in the house or possessed someone or something. That this was the way that it came in.
Okay. All right.
You wouldn't be able to tell which one just because the rolls were a little bit low, so you wouldn't be able to tell what kind, but it's definitely sort of a spiritual thing leaving something behind, as some ghosts and spirits tend to do.
All right. Let's see.
So we don't know if it's like possessing someone.
You do not know. You just know this was the window it entered through.
Can I
Is
do
there
it
any?
like? Can I do an investigation check, or would this kind of just cover?
So this was
As far-
discovered through an investigation check. So like further investigating it is
True.
probably not going to bring up
Do any-
anything,
Yeah. Okay.
since it would just be re-investigating the same clue over and over. So it's like,
I start searching the halls for more soot.
Yeah.
Is there a
Should I-
trail or
Should I fly up and see what's around the house? Like if there's any like anything in the surrounding areas?
sure. Yeah, you all can give investigation checks.
That's a dirty 20.
All right.
I got 20. Not natural.
15?
All right. So as you begin to look around the house, outside or inside, you do not find any other soot.
Okay.
It seems this was the one entrance, and where the trail stops is where the trail stops for whatever reason.
I I think I have dispel magic. Because there's no sign of it leaving, right?
There's no sign of it leaving. However, it's possible that it only leaves that while it's in its whatever spirit form it is in. And if it possessed someone, it might not leave those anymore.
Right.
But you do not see it leave.
It could be possessing Valentina.
But the question is, where is Valentina?
Is there any sign of her leaving? I mean, never mind. That's a stupid question. Could we like? I don't know what to do.
Shoot. Okay. Should we go talk to her brother? See if he knows anything? Like, does he know where she is? No, because like she didn't tell anybody.
Garden's the one with the brother too. Valentina had the crush on the brother.
Could I try doing a perception check for any like feeling anything off in the air, like the sense that it's still there?
You would need to do an Arcana check for that, not necessarily a perception check, Arcana.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll let you do that.
that's going to be a 15.
You kind of having this idea in your head, you step out into the hallway and kind of take a deep breath and kind of center yourself and kind of step back into Valentina's room and then out and then in. Valentina's room does feel different. There is something in the air that feels ever so slightly off in Valentina's room.
Is it
However, the rest of
TNA?
the house seems fine.
There's this, like, I get these heebie-jeebies when I'm in her room. It feels like whatever came in here, I think it might not have left.
I'm gonna start hunting for secret doors, trap doors. 20, not natural.
Let me see if I have any skills that could help. Yeah, I don't think I have anything that can help look for more clues here.
Do any of you have detect magic?
I do not.
No. Nope. Kind of like back to square one. I feel like we have to like go outside and see what's.
Can I make a nature check to sort of intuit what might be a good Strigoi lairing place nearby?
Sure, you can. You certainly can.
20, not natural.
Strigoi like to hide in, after kind of thinking about, what Strigoi are and that kind of thing. They probably share a lot of qualities with the Sturges that they come from, but also vampire qualities. They probably want someplace dark. They probably want someplace that's a little more, wet and possibly a little warm. But also probably someplace that would flatter them, since vampires have the tendency of occasionally being a bit vain. The closest thing that you can think of to something that would be a quick shelter with all of those qualities and be, pretty well constructed. There is actually a barn that's near the horse stables that was abandoned. It was a bit small. The school was probably expanding at the time. They just didn't tear down the old barn. You see it a lot when you are on the running trail, specifically when they do the loop by the stables around the baseball field and back, like the one that you were supposed to do yesterday but never finished because the incident happened. You would have passed by the barn. It's by a pond, so it has sturges around it. It's probably pretty warm in there because the barn would keep the heat in. It's supposed to. Animals were supposed to be in there. And they could probably set up some kind of a home base in there.
Sounds like our next spot.
Abandoned barn.
All right, off we go to the barn.
Because nothing bad ever happens in a barn.
No, nothing bad ever
Especially
happens in a barn.
in the
Some
middle
of
of the
us
night.
suggest setting it on fire and just seeing what comes out, but that's probably not the intended.
Fireball.
Let's not try to destroy it yet. But Let's check
We're
it
off
out.
to the barn. The wonderful wizard of barn.
All
do it.
right. So you all make your way down the walking path over to
By the way, question. We already
uh-huh.
rested, right? Like we're all at full health?
Yes, long rest.
Yeah.
So you have all your hit points back. If you have like a once per day or once per long rest or once per short rest ability, those all come back. Everything's come back. You're right at square one.
Perfect. Good.
So yeah, you make your way over to the barn. It is once again a bit of a walk. You watch as Garden kind of returns to the cheerleading squad, and Bahidi just kind of claps her hands and goes, "All right, we're gonna try the flying trick once again. We're gonna get it this time." And you all pass as you keep going. You pass by people running, other sort of track people that you would probably know running. And yeah, you do make it to the barn. The dark paint kind of makes it not stand out quite as much. It's kind of camouflaged amongst all the trees that have sort of grown up around it, as well as the quiet pond that seems to be buzzing with sturges. And yeah, you've made your way to the barn.
Do we need to do perception check, or we could just walk in and kind of like see what's going on?
If you want to do a perception check, you can.
Yeah, it's better to err on the side of caution.
I thought for taking a listen, yeah, but I got an 11 myself.
Okay, let me see. I got
Ooh.
23.
I got a natural 20, so 26.
Ooh,
All right.
very
So
nice.
both Sasha and Maximoff, as you all kind of put your ear up to the barn door, which is closed, you hear it's very muffled. It's the sound of something getting hit repeatedly. And a sort of feminine voice that's kind of grunting with effort as it's just something is just getting hit repeatedly. And then it stops.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other entrance to this place?
It is a barn, and it was meant for horses, so there's a door on either side of the
Right.
barn.
Right. Is there
As well as there's like the hay loft up at the top that still
yes.
kind of has the crane, but it looks like there's not a rope there anymore. That was taken out, but there is the hay loft, which would allow you to get on like the second floor.
Gee, if only the two of us were able to spider climb.
Yeah, I would like to spider climb into the hayloft stealthily if I can.
Yep, and us, and I guess we could like carry Maximoff.
Well, Maximoff can fly.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Yeah. I'll meet you guys there.
Yeah. All right. So everyone give me a stealth check.
51.
Suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Let's see.
Come on, come on.
What is this, stealth?
Stealth, yeah.
I have unnatural 20.
Ooh. And Sasha?
2.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
So yeah, you all get to the hayloft and kind of softly begin to creep in before Sasha, you step on a very rotten piece of wood and you hear a crack, and about a fourth of the hayloft to your left just comes crashing down onto the ground. And you watch, you kind of see over the edge of the hayloft, it's Valentina. She is holding a bloody piece of wood, and on the ground is another Strigoi that she seems to have beaten to death.
Okay with it.
Wow.
And she just kind of turns around, and because the other two of you rolled so well on stealth, You manage to pull Sasha away from the edge and back up to a point where she can't see.
Okay.
And you just, she almost just talking to herself, just goes, well, the barn is rotten. What do I do now? You don't hear her move at all. It seems like she's just standing there in thought.
What do you guys want to do?
I don't know if I want to start a fight or like actually question her.
I have charm.
Okay, let's start with that. Yeah. Because I have sneak, but like, yeah, let's start questioning first. Okay.
How far away is she?
I'm going to say she's probably, the barn is probably maybe 50 feet wide, maybe 30 feet, well, 50 feet long, 30 feet wide, and then you're probably maybe 30 feet in the air.
Perfect. The range of charm is 30 feet.
Perfect.
So I'm going to cast charm on her.
Charm person.
Yeah, charm person.
All right.
The wisdom saving throw of 14.
All right.
We all know she's not wise.
I
I
thought
don't
charm
know. It
person
just
was a
didn't really.
charisma thing. Okay. Well, she didn't do too hot on it. And are you just casting charm person just like over the edge surreptitiously, or are you actually like confronting her and casting it?
Stereotypics, whatever that word is.
Surreptitiously, sneakily.
Yeah, and then
Good old
after
SAT word.
charmed, then I'll confront her.
All right. Yep, you feel the charm spell take.
Valantrios is now confident enough to step out of the shadows or wherever, and he's like, "Hey, Valentina."
Oh, hi. I don't think I've met you before.
My name is Sasha. It's nice to meet you.
Oh. Well, it's lovely to meet you too.
So I have to ask you something, if you'd be so amenable, and
Amiable.
yes.
Sure.
Alrighty. So, if you, why did you write that letter to not
Is it a Herb or Osmond?
no not Herb? It was the other guy.
Is it
Osmond.
Osmond, right? Yeah. Okay.
Osmond.
Well, it was all part of the plan.
And that plan was
Just general chaos. At this point, it's weird. You feel the charm spell still on her, but she seems to like shift into a more like aggressive sort of stance as her eyes just go black. And a
Oh.
different voice comes out of her mouth. Well, that was a really nice try there. Your charm spell worked, but I'm the one that's in control right now.
and the mastermind is finally here.
All right.
Okay.
Can you use the spell?
Um, use a spell.
Like the spell, like
Oh, do you have dispel magic?
Yeah, do you?
No. It turns out I don't.
Oh.
None of us have any, like, so we're just gonna have to fight Valentina.
That way, this would be a great time for protection from good and evil, but I don't have it, so.
Can I just try charm person with this thing too?
You would have to drop charm person on Valentina because I think
Valentina.
charm person is a concentration spell.
Concentration
And
spell.
there is also no guarantee that this thing is person enough to be charmed, whatever it is. You have no idea what it is.
It's
All
an
right.
entity, yeah.
Let's
All right.
see.
We could try to keep talking to it. I mean, clearly it's in a chatty mood.
Okay, so Blanche is just gonna continue. So I have to ask, what was this whole plan about? Like, was it had to be more than just teen romantic angst?
Chaos.
That's it, just mindless chaos?
Of course. It was a perfect
Oh,
situation.
that you want chaos, and yet you go to a college.
Yes, it was the perfect situation.
Isn't that
Valentina
kind of
was.
brow?
No, not necessarily. You have to think of.
Why Valentina?
Well, she was already quite boy crazy. Quite simple to
Yeah,
convince her of a fun little plan.
yeah, we saw the list. That's not, I mean, seriously, you had no one better to choose than some boy crazed girl.
Correction, no one more fun to choose. And
That is so,
besides, it's
that is
not
so,
suspicious.
that is just so sad. I am so sorry.
Well, I had my
Well,
fun.
And that is probably the saddest part of it all.
we're gonna need you to stop that because it is wreaking havoc in the school.
Good. That was the plan.
Oh my God, I am just so seriously, all this issue because of some vapid creature thing. I feel more embarrassed for myself right
Well, technically, I'm using the chaos to get back out. I floated into this little valley. Couldn't really leave. Needed some energy to leave, go back to the Shadowfell where I belong. And, needed a little chaos to feed off of.
That's all you need. That's all you want to go back home.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I swear to God, this is so stupid. Um, and I'm saying that in character, not like above.
Oh, I'm fully aware.
Okay. Um, I'm like, oh, you literally could have chosen anything. You could have gone like, you you could have taken control of some kind of politician, some royal, some noble. You could have been home like that, but you went for a college. Honestly, have you no shame in yourself for yourself?
No.
Okay, can we pretend like this is gonna end any other way than us beating your ass?
Was worth trying to talk you out of it. And then Valentina opens her mouth, and there's a horrible shriek as this black cloud swirls out of her, forming this surprisingly horrible creature. Legs and arms and claws everywhere. There seems to be bones sticking out of it. Its body has just eyes in random spots that as it stares at you, gives you kind of a little scopophobic sort of chill that runs down your spine as it floats in the air and Valentina's body just drops like a sack of potatoes. All right, you wanted a fight. Let's go. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
All right.
This thing rolled poorly.
Oh, this was so close. I got a 19 plus 10 initiative, so 29.
17.
Oof, 29, 17 for Jaithryn.
I have as +0 initiative.
All right. So what did you
Oh.
get?
I got an 8.
8. All right. You and the monster rolled the exact same initiative, so you will be going first, which means everybody's going before the monster. So, Maximoff, you are up first as this thing is kind of hovering in the air, its weird limbs kind of grasping, the dark
Like
smoke
Pokemon
surrounding it, the
piping.
eyes glaring.
All right. So now I could use sneak attack, right?
You would need advantage on it to get sneak attack.
Got it. Okay. All right. Oh, good. So I got 29. I'll do a sword swipe.
All right. Are you flying up to it? It's kind of hovering over where Valentina's body was, which is kind of like 30 feet in front of you and 30 feet down. I'd say you can probably get to it with your fly speed, but you'd have to fly up to it to get a melee attack in.
Oh, I think I have bow and arrows actually.
Oh, you do?
I think so. Let
I
me
mean, you
just.
might have a crossbow. It seems like
I have a
half
short
the
bow.
people. All right. Yep, that counts. So, yep, you can
I
give it a
do.
shot.
All right. So let's do. It's a 1d6. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay. So 6. I got. I got 14 damage
Woof.
with my
You get a
short bow.
good shot off on this thing as the
Nice.
arrow sinks into one of its eyes and it blinks closed and roars in pain as it swipes at the air. Um, is there anything else that you would like to do with your turn?
I think that's all I could do for right now. So yeah, I'll stay
All
up and
right. All right. Jaithryn, what you doing?
Is it possible I can line up a 20-foot radius sphere that contains just the darkness and no one else?
Yes.
Okay, then I would like to cast Fireball.
Ooh.
So
All
that
right.
is a dex save of 15 for half.
Ooh. It got a 3.
Okay,
Ah.
so that is 33 fire damage.
Good Lord. Yeah, you blast this thing
nice.
and you watch as the fire just burns some of the bones and even seems to fizz and smoke in some of the black swirling mist that surrounds it. Um, it's not looking too great already. So now, unless there's anything else that you'd like to do, Jaithryn, we move to Sasha and then the monster.
Lightning bolt.
All right. This thing is apparently not that dexterous. It gets a 5.
Yes. Okay, let's do this. That is going to be 24 damage.
Ooh. Ooh, this thing. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
We're
Ooh.
getting high hits right now.
Yeah, that's insane.
Basically, new
All
game.
right. Um, oof. So it's going to, since it's its turn now, it turns its eyes. I'm trying to think of who did the most damage to it. It's probably who it would.
I probably did the most emotional damage.
All right, then. It's going to go for you. All of its eyes lock on you, and you feel a creeping sense of horror just absolutely rack your body. And I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Meanwhile, I do not have enough dice for this.
That is going to be 19.
All right, so you're going to be taking half damage as the creeping horror seems to damage your psyche. Um, oh my goodness.
We don't hear you.
No, I'm counting.
Oh, okay. Sorry, your mouth was moving, but no sound was coming out.
You are so lucky that you saved because you're going to be taking 26 points of necrotic damage
Oh, jeez, that hurt.
as this horrifying gaze burns into you. And that is going to be the end of its turn. And we go back up to the top with Maximoff.
All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna do another short bow attack.
Uh-huh.
All right. I didn't realize I actually make more damage with short bows.
Oh,
Yeah, because short bow I use 1d6 and dagger I use 1d4.
oh.
Yeah. So all right, cool. Does 27 hit?
27 does hit.
All right, and then 1d6. 4. 17 damage.
17 damage. Oof. This thing is not doing so hot. You see its bones starting to break, and you shoot it in another eye, a particularly big and juicy eye that just shuts tight as it shrieks. And we are
Nice.
going to move to Jaithryn.
If I can still line up another fireball, I'd like to do that.
You certainly can.
All right. Casting another
Give me just a
33
moment.
fire damage.
Let me see if it saves. It does not save, and yeah, it does not have enough to withstand your fireball attack. You blast it, and it just explodes into bones and horrible black tar like goop as it just plasters the inside of the barn. And you are all out of initiative. At this point, Valentina kind of wobbles to her feet as she kind of looks at herself covered with all of this black goo and just, what happened?
What happened is you need to see a therapist.
Are you doing okay? How you feeling?
I feel so sick.
Do you remember anything that's happened lately?
Oh, not really.
Jeez. So we can't even blame her for anything. Is the diary cursed? I feel like it's like it might be a Harry Potter situation.
A Horcrux.
You don't know. She probably has it on her. They said that Garden said that she took it with her when she left.
That's true.
He goes up to her, each footstep squelching with the ichor of the monster in
Yeah.
and he's just like, can I see your diary for a second?
She pulls it out of a pocket, and like a corner of it is covered in the goop. She just kind of feebly hands it to you.
He tosses it into the air and he casts fireball.
No, don't burn it yet.
It just turns to
Do we-
ash. Oh,
No.
okay.
Well, that's gone.
Um,
Now, talk to someone.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I should probably see the nurse first. And at this point, we are going to end the adventure. So thank you so much for joining us for another Mysteries of Ravensburg Academy and the insanity therein. Hopefully, we'll be having another interesting adventure soon, hopefully with the main cast as well, so you'll be seeing Sasha again. But until then, we'll see you around.